بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد قال الله عز وجل في كتاب العزيز بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة ولنجزينهم أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام إنكم على بينة من ربكم ما لم تظهر فيكم سكرتان سكرة الجهل وسكرة حب العيش وأنتم تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتجاهدون في سبيل الله القائلون يومئذ بالكتاب والسنة كالسابقين الأولين من المهاجرين والأنصار أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. First of all, I'll start by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm honored to be here. And Jazakallah khair for the organizers who invited me to share a few words with you brothers and sisters. Honestly, on a night like this, we could have been in many different places doing many different things. But we all made intention, and then Allah gave us tawfiq, because we can't do anything with our own. Whenever we do something good, it is not with our own choice or our own effort. It's tawfiq of Allah. وَمَا تَوْفِيقِي إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. Everything I do is with the tawfiq, the will, and the mercy of Allah, that He allows us to do good things. So coming to the masjid today on a Friday night, we could have been doing many different things. We could have been in many different places. But among all the places in the world, we're in the best of all places, which is the house of Allah. Right? And we're doing the best of all things, which is remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about people who remember Him, that in dhakartani dhakartuka, wa in nasitani dhakartuka. So if you remember me and mention me, I remember you. But if you forget about me, I still remember you. Right? Allah is like that, right? He doesn't treat us the way we treat each other. He said, "In nasitani dhakartuk." If you remember me, I remember you. When nasitani dhakartuk. And if you forget about me, I still remember you. He says, "In dhakartani fi mala'in dhakartuka fi mala'in khayran mink." He said, if you remember me in a gathering, which we are doing right now, and this is a gathering with the camera, with the light, with brothers and sisters from different places, and gather this masjid, this beautiful masjid. Allah is remembering us in a gathering of angels, which is a much more beloved and blessed gathering. And above that and beyond that is the very fact, just try to comprehend this. When the Prophet ﷺ, he asked one of his sahabi, his companion of the Prophet ﷺ, his name was Ubay ibn Ka'b. And he said to him, recite Quran to me. I want you to recite to me. And the Sahabi replies, he says, Ya Rasulullah, kayfa aqra wa alayka yunzal. How can I recite Quran to you when Quran was revealed to you? Now Quran, this is the month of Quran, the month of Ramadan. One Mufassir, he mentions that if the Quran, see, Quran is not a name of the book. Quran means something that's recited. Tawrat, Injil, Zabur, they're the names of those books. But the book of Allah, Quran, is just, Quran means from qara'a, something that's recited. And he says that if this book was given a name, it would not have been one word. It would have been a small verse of the Quran in Surah Ibrahim. هَذَا بَلَاغٌ لِلنَّاسِ. This is a message that needs to be given to mankind. هَذَا بَلَاغٌ لِلنَّاسِ. A message that should be taken for the mankind, for the entire mankind. Not for the believers, not for the youth of Ummah only, not for just Miftah, no, for the entire mankind. It's a beautiful book, right? And we have to have this, this relationship with this book like this baby. Sometimes even if you don't understand what the book means, even kids nowadays, like my son, who's like 13 months old, is starting to love the iPhone. He has no idea what the iPhone is. He's doing things. I have like 50 selfies in there of him, right? He's just taking pictures of himself. He doesn't know what it is, right? So in spite of that, he's attracted to it, because it's the shaitan. Shaitan it has a way of attracting people. I'm not giving fatwas here, but it is shaitan. So anyways, and the same thing with the Quran. Quran has a way of attracting, it's an attraction for people. So even just opening it, touching it, looking at it is a beautiful thing. So the Prophet ﷺ himself used to recite Quran day and night, but at times he would go to others and asked them to recite Quran so he could listen to it from them. So he says, listen, recite the Quran to me. And the man says, how can I recite Quran to you when the Quran was revealed to you? Like the most nerve-wracking thing to do is to try to recite in front of your teachers. Trust me, honestly, like for me, I mean, we're from Michigan, we're not nervous of anything, but that's how we are. Detroit, we all, I went to Canada to study, and like the Detroit guys, like Sheikh Masmadi, myself, Sheikh Abdullah, we all studied in Canada. We were known to be like, we don't know how to play basketball when we first went to Canada, but you know what, we're confident enough to say, oh, we're gonna play back, we're gonna kill you. Let's do this, right? Let's roll. And then we started playing, then we started playing hockey, and we're just so confident. Like, oh, you Detroit guys like that? I'm like, we were, I don't know what happened now. And now when we play the basketball court in MI, like, I was talking about this earlier today, like people have different objectives when they do things. So we'll have a couple of people that come to the gym in MI, their objective is to just get a workout in. So they don't care if they win or lose, they just want to get an exercise, get a sweat. And someone else's objective is, I just want to have some fun. And then someone's objective is, I don't care about fun nor exercise, I want to win. That's my objective. That's usually my objective. I don't care about the workout, I don't care about the fun, I want to win. So now imagine if you have 5 people on a team, one guy's objective is he wants to win, 2 guys want to exercise, and 2 guys want to have fun. That's a recipe for disaster, right? That's when you get into those arguments and things are happening. That's what you come want to see. That only happens there in MI when we play ball. But he says to this person, he says, listen, I want to hear the Quran from you. And this man says, how can I recite Quran to you when the Quran is revealed to you? So it's nerve-wracking to recite Quran or speak in front of your teachers. It is, because they sit in front of you and it's difficult to talk in front of them. And this is the teacher of all teachers. And he repeated it 3 times. After 3 times, and this is what I'm coming back to, I highlight this word. The Prophet ﷺ said to him, he said, Allah has commanded me to ask you to recite Quran. So this person, he stopped. He looked at the Prophet ﷺ and said, Ya Rasulullah, did Allah say my name? What did he say? Did Allah say my name? And the Prophet ﷺ said, yes, Allah said your name. And he started crying. He said, Allah said my name. Wow, that's the greatest honor in the world, that Allah said my name. Think about how beautiful that is. That your creator, your master, the one that loves you, said your name. Right? And that's what happens here. If some big celebrity or some athlete, I remember once, we met Hakeem Olajuwon in Houston. And I came back and someone said, Hakeem said that he met this one guy from Michigan, Abdur Rahman, and all be like, oh my God, he was talking about you. Like it was such a big deal. Like he's still a makhluk. But imagine Allah saying your name. Allah says about us in this gathering, every single person who's sitting here, Maryam, Aisha, Abdullah, Abdur Rahman, Muhammad, whoever you are, Allah is mentioning you by your name and telling His angels, look at that Sa'ad, look at Abdur Rahman, look at Aisha. They're sitting down together, they're talking about me. What a beautiful gathering. It comes in hadith that one night, this nur from the arsh of Allah illuminates and it comes all the way down to a certain place on the face of the earth, maybe Warren, 12 Mile in Ryan, comes down like this light, all the way to the arsh of Allah. The angels are looking at this and they say, wow, where's this light coming from? And Allah responds to Jibreel, and Jibreel tells the angels, and He says to the angels, this light is coming from that place where there's a قَدْ اصْطَلَحَ عَبْدٌ مَعَ مَوْلَى, where there's a servant of Allah who today has repented to Allah. Allah lit up the sky in His honor. Or lit up the sky in her honor. قَدْ اصْطَلَحَ عَبْدٌ مَعَ مَوْلَى. Today a servant of Allah has repented and came back to Allah, and came back in the fold of Islam, or in the obedience of Allah. So this is such a beautiful gathering we're sitting in. So first of all, take that in. Say Alhamdulillah. I want hear it louder. Alhamdulillah. Comes in hadith, Inna Allah Ta'ala idha ahabba abdan, Inna Allah yu'ti dunya liman yuhibbu wa man la yuhibbu. Allah gives dunya and opportunities to earn more dunya to the ones He loves and the one He dislikes equally. So Fir'aun, Haman, Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, they had opportunities to earn more dunya. And Rahman bin Auf, Uthman Ghani, Sulaiman alayhi salam, Dawood alayhi salam, prophets of Allah, Sahaba also had opportunities to earn more dunya because Allah gives it to both equally. You make an effort, you wake up early, you work hard, Allah will give you an opportunity. Right? Don't cut shortcuts, just keep on working, Allah will give you opportunities. ولكن الله يعطي الدين إلا من يحب فإذا أحب الله تعالى عبدا أعطاه الإيمان. But when it comes to distribution of Iman, which is the most therapeutic thing in the world, which is the best feeling in the world. Imam Shafi'i used to say, أهل الليل في ليلهم ألذ من أهل اللغو في لغوهم. The people that love the night. You know, there's people that love the night. There are some people, when we used to be in Toronto studying, there will be people that used to wait till Friday night because they used to love Friday and Saturday nights for whatever sins they wanted to commit. And when we were there, our teachers used to tell us, oh, no, a time will come where you will get that enjoyment times 10 from flipping pages of commentary of Bukhari. We're like, wow. Like if he said, you'll get that same pleasure by watching a movie, all right, cool, you can do that in real life and we can watch it. It makes some sort of sense. But he would tell us, you will get more pleasure and enjoyment reading a hadith and then opening the books of commentary of the hadith, figuring out what that hadith means, and just completely getting lost in the meaning of the word, the hadith or the Quran. You'll get more enjoyment in that than the people do get from their sins. I couldn't believe it. We used to look at them like, no, that's not true. Right? But then when we grew older, we started reading hadith and we started reading the poetry of Imam Shafi'i. Imam Shafi'i says, Sahri لتنقيح العلوم ألذ لي من وصل غانية ومن طيب عناقي. He says, me staying up at night and studying hadith brings me more enjoyment than the one who is an alcoholic, the enjoyment he gets from drinking a sip of wine. Or a person who gets, a person who has this bad habit of a sin, and after committing that sin, they get that enjoyment, a temporary enjoyment. I get more enjoyment flipping pages of hadith. وَأَبِيتُ سَهْرَانِ الدُّجَى وَتَبِيتُهُ نَوْمًا. He says, I can't wait till the night. And I attribute that waiting for the night to my wife when I see the way, and no offense to the boys who are sitting here, but we can never have the love the women have for their children. Forget it. Don't compete with that. Don't compete with, you cannot. The way they love their children is it's next level. That's why I finally figured out why Allah, when He talks about His own love, He says, the hadith is Allah loves His servant more than 70 times, not 70 times, more than 70 times than a mother loves her child, not a father. Right? Father's like, I'm doing my work, man, get out of here. Well, that's the true story. I hope this is not anywhere, goes anywhere. I was sleeping a few days ago in Ramadan, and my son, we came back from late night, and it was first day of Ramadan, I was tired. First night of Ramadan was Sunday, right? Monday was, and so we all thought, me and my wife both thought, oh, you know what, today our two kids are not going to wake up for school, it's perfect, we're not going to send them to school, we're bad parents. So my wife said, you're going to wake up? Yeah, I got it, I'll take them. I was not planning to wake up. So I'm sleeping, and then my son, he pushes me, he's like, Abuji, I have to go to school. I'm like, what? What are you doing awake? Go to sleep. He's like, no, I'm getting late. It's 7:45, I gotta go. So I'm sleeping. I was just joking with him. I'm like, all right, I'll get you an Uber. And he's 7 years old. I'll get you an Uber, all right? I'll get an Uber right now for you. So I say it pretty loud, and my wife wakes up, and she freaks out. She thinks I'm gonna get him an Uber. I'm like, relax, man. I'm not gonna get him an Uber. But I was thinking later, it's not a bad idea if I just get pulling up to school, grade 1 in Uber, and make it the little SUV Uber too. They pull up in the back seat. So, and my wife just freaks out. She wakes up and like, what are you doing? No, I was just messing with. No, that's not really. Please don't put this anywhere online. So that's why I usually don't like recording my videos, just because I have to be more tight-lipped, and the gathering doesn't benefit as much then. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not a big person on camera. But you know what? I respect you guys. That's good. No problem. I'll do whatever you want me to do. But nonetheless, mothers have that love, right? So this love for a mother. So I go pick up my kid from school. I sometimes don't even remember I picked him up, he comes, he has to open the door to give me a hug. I'm like, hey, Carb, get in the back seat, I gotta go, man. Take him home. But the mother is actually waiting outside the door, waiting for her 4-year-old child to come and, oh, how was school today? And all that love. That mother, how she waits for her child at the end of the day, or that mother who has no choice, she has to work, and she drops her 3-year-old baby at a daycare, and picks him up 5 hours later, and that yearning and that love that lady has to finally meet her son is the same yearning that the people of Allah had waiting for the night. They would wait for the night. Because in the daytime, they were just working. They were one of the organizers told me that, could you please talk about the fact that Ramadan comes and we are young, we're working, so we're still working, we're still going to school and all that stuff, and it's Ramadan, so we don't feel the spirituality. We wish we were in Medina and Makkah doing nothing for 30 days. That's unrealistic. Sahaba used to work. Sahaba had business during the day. But their nights were different than ours. The difference was what? Their nights. Their private moments, their times of solitude was different than ours. That's all it was. They couldn't wait till the night, because at nighttime the Prophet would look at Aisha and say, oh Aisha, would you excuse me so I can have some moments in privacy, so I can have a conversation with my Lord? And Aisha would say, no problem, Ya Rasulullah, go ahead. And sometimes he would cry so much at night talking to Allah, not because he's afraid of Jahannam, but the tears of love that he's talking to Allah. That you're sitting with Allah all alone, just talking to Him. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. We always talk about that ayah. When my servant asks about me, where am I? Tell him I am close to him, right? If we just stop that ayat right there, that qurb, the greatest thing you get from just being alone in a corner and talking to Allah is you feel that Allah is so close to you. Brother and sister, there is not a greater feeling in the world than that. Because don't think for a second that you're not going to sin. But when you sin, you're so confident that Allah's so close to you that He'll hook you up. Right? That's no big deal. Last night I was crying to him. I made a كُلُّ ابْنَ وَخَطَّاءٌ. خلاص, every single servant of Allah and the child of Adam is a sinner. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. Life, like how Umar bin Khattab said, is like walking down a path with thorns and trees, and you're just protecting your beautiful clothes from getting pricked by the thorns and getting torn. But whatever you do, you're still going to get pricked. Whatever you do, you're going to get stabbed here, and someone's going to grab you here, shaitan's going to grab you here, you're going to click the wrong thing, you're going to speak to the wrong person, you might see the wrong thing. That's no problem. But when Allah uses the word hub, you know what hub means? What does hub mean? Muhabba. What does muhabba mean? Love. When we use the word love, we're completely exaggerating. Sorry, most of us. We're texting. I used to be in Wayne State University back in the day. I have my friend sitting next to me, texting his girlfriend, I love you so much, we'll see you tonight. And then another girl walks by, he's looking at her. I said, brother, you love that girl, you love her, which one you love? Where's the love here, man? If you really love her, you shouldn't be looking anywhere else. You should be completely satisfied. And then we meet each other, man, I miss you so much, I love you, man, I was thinking about you all. So when we talk, we have a lot of exaggeration in our speech. Allah gave us people who truly love each other, right? Because those two servants of Allah who love each other for the sake of Allah, on the Day of Judgment, Allah will call out, an announcer will call on the Day of Judgment, أَيْنَ الْمُتَحَابِّينَ فِيَّ الْيَوْمَ أَظِلُّهُمْ تَحْتَ ظِلِّي يَوْمَ لَا ظِلَّ إِلَّا ظِلِّي. Allah will ask, where are those two people who loved only for the sake of Allah? Only for they loved each other, in spite of the differences. I want to mention this today because there's a bunch of youngsters, brothers and sisters sitting here. It is very possible that I like a medium coffee with 1 cream and 2 sugars, and you don't like that. You like some weird type of coffee, like large with 5 creams and 5 sugars. Just eat sugar then, whatever. So maybe you like something else. Maybe you like something else. Maybe she likes something else. You know what? Love and unity doesn't mean that we all have the same liking and the same opinion. Love and unity means, in spite of our differences, we love each other. It's not synchronization of everything. It doesn't mean that. It has nothing to do with synchronization of every single thing. It means that we love each other in spite of our differences. Whatever happens, we love each other. And I'll give you one example. Umar ibn Khattab and Abu Bakr. If you want to talk about the best friends ever, those are the two best friends. Like you can't come up with a better friendship than Abu Bakr and Umar. Always competing, they always loved each other, they're always friends, they're brothers, they're friends. Umar ibn Khattab anhu, after Abu Bakr passed away, would be so afraid to take one extra step that Abu Bakr didn't take, in the fear that if I just did this, meaning if I ate twice a day, or if I wore some nice clothes, Abu Bakr never did that, I actually want to chill with Abu Bakr in Jannah. So if I do this, maybe I won't meet him there. That was his fear. And because of that, he would not do extra, he would not indulge in extra luxury. But check this out. It comes in hadith, once the Prophet was sitting down, and a tribe comes, and they said, okay, who should be the amir of the leader of this tribe? The Prophet said, whenever you go on a journey, appoint a leader, amir. The amir is not a dictator. All right, you're in khidmah, you clean my shoes, you buy the chips, money's on you. Like that's not what he's supposed to be doing. But he's supposed to just take the mashra. So he said, whenever you're going to jama'ah or going somewhere, 3-4 people together, going on a journey in Chicago, pick someone who will be the amir. If you don't, then shaitan will be your amir. Right? So have someone who can, you just do mashra, decide things. It makes it much more easier that way. Otherwise you have, so then these people came and they said, all right, who should be the amir? Abu Bakr said, this sahabi should be the amir. He mentioned the name. And Umar gave an opinion from left field, some other guy. Abu Bakr looked at him and said, Umar, man, every time I give an opinion, you give a different opinion. He literally said that to him. He said, every time I give an opinion, your opinion is different. And Umar said, that's my opinion. My opinion can't be this, it doesn't have to be the same as my opinion. The Prophet asked me, I give my opinion. And they spoke a little loud. Allah revealed ayat. لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي ولا تجهروا له بالقول كجهر بعضكم لبعض أن تحبط أعمالكم إن الذين يغضون أصواتهم عند رسول الله أولئك الذين امتحن القلوب للتقوى. He said, when you speak in front of the Prophet ﷺ, don't speak in the same tone you would speak if he wasn't there. Lower your voice. Have respect for the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, that he's sitting in front of you. And have respect for his masjid. Have respect for his gathering. When you go to Madinah al-Munawwara, Imam Malik rahimahullah used to walk barefoot in the whole city, thinking that maybe I'm going to step on with my shoes on that place where the Prophet ﷺ put his foot, and that would be disrespectful. He would not relieve himself in the city of Medina. He would always go out somewhere else, out of respect for the city of Madinah al-Munawwara. So this ayah was revealed. But the point was, it's not this, you have to have the same opinion. So this muhabba, when Allah says He loves, there's no exaggeration. Allah says in the Quran, Inna Allaha, inna means what? What does inna mean? You guys all have to come to Miftah. Inna means? For sure, verily. So not just Allah saying something, He's emphasizing, Inna Allaha, verily Allah, yuhibbu, fi'l mudari, not madi, fi'l mudari, meaning it is forever. It's forever, it's istimrari. It's a continuous action, not something that happened in the past. It's a continuous action. Allah continuously always loves at-tawabin, the one who repents. So of course we're going to make mistakes. So we spoke to Allah at night. We were close to Him at night. In the morning we made mistakes. But then we woke up at night the next night, and we just cried to Allah again, oh Allah, forgive me. Allah said, oh yeah, you're the one that cried to me yesterday, it's all good. And He hooks us up, right? This is in our terminology. I go to Tim Hortons, my coffee's right there. I go to Tim Hortons on 12 and Shaner a lot, because all the rest of them are pretty garbage, except for the one on 10 and Ryan's not bad either. So I don't know, The 10 and Ryan's good? Don't worry, if someone owns Tim Hortons, I'm sorry. But 12 and Shaner and the 10 and Ryan. So you go there, sometimes I go there, it happens, sometimes I go there and I left my wallet at the school. And the person who's there at that time recognizes me, because I come every single day. They say, it's all right, take the coffee. It's okay, take it. It's $2, it's all right, you can take it. They'll give you a free coffee. But if you came there for the first time and you asked for a coffee and you didn't have your money, they won't give you the coffee, because they don't recognize you, right? Allah will recognize you if you're continuously coming back to Him every night, crying to Him. Now you make a mistake during the day, Allah says, no problem. Allah will forgive you. Allah will keep on forgiving you. So this month of Ramadan is for that. Really, we know all the acts of the day. We have to fast, we have to stay hungry, we can't drink, we have to wait till Maghrib. But what we sometimes as a Ummah fall short in, and this is what I'm trying to do this Ramadan. Every Ramadan, what I used to fall short in is the acts of the night, right? Our nights become very less meaningful. Meaning the whole night goes by, we're talking, chit-chatting, you'll go in front of Tim Hortons, be cars standing there. The night is the time for the investment. This is a time you're in the middle of the gold mine. You don't got time to drink and eat right now. You only have 4 hours. Take as much as gold as you can. Because what you do at night in front of Allah is what's going to last with you for the entire month, and it's going to become a lifestyle after Ramadan ends. My brothers and sisters in Islam, wallahi, this city, this state, this country, if we just had this group of students who are sitting right here, all of us, I say this unequivocally, if all of us made a commitment today, my father used to say, to get from Allah, wake up at 2 o'clock at night. 2 o'clock, all twos. 2 o'clock at night, pray 2 rakats of salat, raise 2 hands, shed 2 tears. You have opened the treasures of Allah. You don't need anything else. It doesn't matter how bad you are. It doesn't matter how many sins you did that day. But if you make that your schedule, your commitment to do every single night, now you're doing it alone and then you get married. Now since you're doing it all the time, the Prophet ﷺ said, Rahimallahu imran. May Allah have mercy on that person who wakes up at night and then his spouse is there as well. So he wants to pray and he says, you know what, honey, can you wake up too? Or the other way around, the spouse, the wife says to the husband, can you wake up? And in the hadith it comes and sprinkles some water. Not takes a whole bottle, throws it all over her or him, sprinkles some water and wakes up, and they both get, Allah has mercy on those 2 people. If all of you sitting here today, in this month of Ramadan, how can we make our life practical? Simple. The Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba, they had less food than us, 100%. We have much more resources to get rejuvenated as far as food is concerned. They had less resources than us. They didn't have AC to sit in. When they were standing in the Masjid Nabawi and praying Taraweeh or praying Tahajjud, if it rained a little, just if it sprinkled, it wouldn't make a difference. Just a little strong rain, they would be doing sajda in mud. They would be doing sajda, and they would be praying in that masjid like that. They left their cities. They were from Mecca, they were in Medina. So there was poverty, there was hunger, there was lack of resources, but they were much more productive than you and I. How did that happen? Where did they draw their energy from? Where were they going to charge their batteries? So they had enough energy to work during the day, to sit on the back of donkeys and camels. Salman al-Farsi is fasting during the day, but is sitting under a palm tree, and he doesn't take money from nobody because no, I'm not taking money from anybody. And he's just weaving baskets and selling baskets. And he's getting 3 dinar for each basket. 1 dinar he keeps from himself, 1 dinar he invests back in his business, and 1 dinar he gives in sadaqah. Right? And how does he get energy to do that? How do they get energy to sit in the back of a camel and donkey and travel days to study ilm? So when we get up in the morning and we have to work, khalas, we get in the car to go somewhere. We have to work, it's no problem. So our working can become ibadah, because Imam Ghazali, and I'll conclude by saying, Imam Ghazali mentions that there are 3 types of fast. There's Sawmul Umum, Sawmul Khusus, Sawmul Al-Khusus Al-Khusus. There's the fasting of the common person. The fasting of the common person is simple. He doesn't eat, drink, no intimate relationships with the spouse during the day. This is the fasting of a common person. You get the reward of that fast. But this is a common fast. So it's more of a physical thing. Then there's Sawm al-Khusus. There's the fasting of the elite that have spirituality. And their fasting pertains a lot to their tongue. So now, not only are they not eating, but they're very careful of the words. They're actually weighing the words. You can literally count, you know the word count on Microsoft Word? You can literally do a word count of their words throughout the month of Ramadan. They don't speak any vanity. They don't speak any profanity. They don't speak any useless talks. Nothing. They're so careful with their words. And that's a Sawm al-Khusus. That's a spiritual elite. Then there's another category on top of that, which is may Allah bless this sister over here, came with her child, mashallah, mashallah. Then there's a Sawm. I honestly, I have a very soft spot. We had in Miftah, we were teaching, and there's a sister came, she comes there every Tuesday, and she was expecting 7 months, 8 months of her, and she's still coming every Tuesday. Honestly, I would hold back my tears when I'm teaching. I said, subhanAllah, they have so much dedication. I mean, if the brothers had a quarter of that, right? So much, and of course the brothers are coming. There was one doctor who used to come from Farmington Hills. This dude, sometimes he would be wearing a suit in meetings, and he would stop at a Starbucks just to change back into his scrubs to come to the Miftah. Brother, go home, you don't have to come today. Right? And and mashallah, she brought her child. I can't miss this gathering. Plus, so I'm going to bring my child as well. So may Allah bless you so much. So there's a third category of the fasting of the elite, the cream of the crop. And what is their fasting pertaining to? And it can be us. We could be sitting in our car driving, working, everything can be the same. It absolutely pertains to the heart. They are very careful of what enters their heart. The bigger the house, the richer the person, the more gates and gated community they have for no trespassing. Right? Like in Warren, you're good. Then you go other cities, they have these gated communities, no trespassing. These people are so careful. They have this metaphoric gate around their heart where there's absolutely no trespassing for any thoughts of dunya. So they're working, but their heart's still in the masjid. They're studying, but their heart's still with Allah. So they have to finish their studies. My Shaykh Abdul Aziz, he's doing his exams for his med school right now. It's Ramadan. You have to finish your studies. That doesn't mean you're less spiritual than a person who's spending his entire day in the masjid. That doesn't mean you're less spiritual than a person who's doing 10 days i'tikaf because you have to work and you have no choice to study. That doesn't mean anything. But your heart, you're more careful about your heart. That in this Ramadan, I have to be mindful that nothing trespasses into my heart. So I conclude by saying this, that us in this month, we sometimes during the day, we got it down. We don't eat, we don't drink, we're so careful. But in the nights of Ramadan, my brothers and sisters, if all of you sitting over here make a commitment that we will start waking up at night, we're already awake at night right now. Before we sleep, we're going to go into our little corner. Even if it's 2 minutes, we're shedding 2 tears, making dua for 2 minutes, raising 2 hands, that's enough. Start that. Alaykum bi qiyam al-layl. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Oh my ummah, hold steadfast onto getting up at night and talking to your Lord." How could you do something without that? فَإِنَّهُ دَأْبُ الصَّالِحِينَ قَبْلَكُمْ. Because this was the lifestyle of the righteous before you. They couldn't sleep a day without talking to Allah. Their day wouldn't go by. They would wait till the night. They're getting bumped and bruised and hit and pushed from one side to the other, and all their agony and their pain and their suffering of Islamophobia, of this, of that, they would just say, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُ بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Oh Allah, I complain only to you. Oh Allah, you saw everything that happened today. I only complain to you. Nobody else. And they had that act down. So, عليكم بقيام الليل فإنه دأب الصالحين قبلكم وقربة إلى ربكم. It's the fastest way of getting close to your Lord. And just like, you know how I say, I know my car and the car knows the road. When you're driving and you know how your car drives, so if you're M3, whatever, and you're driving in a way, oh, the guy who's sitting next to you is like, oh man, you're driving too reckless. So you say, I know my car and the car knows the road. You feel so close to the car. Imagine you feel so close to Allah that whenever you need something, Allah is right there. Allah is right there. So the fastest way of getting to Allah is getting up at night and just talking to Allah at night. Then he says, وَمُكَفِّرَةٌ لِلسَّيِّئَاتِ. It is a means of cleansing your sins. The fastest way of getting our sins cleansed that we did throughout the day is just standing up in front of Allah at night. وَمَطْرَدَةٌ لِلْآثَامِ. And this act of standing in front of Allah is a beautiful act. You know, we have all these, we have questions that we go Umrah, Hajj, Jum'ah, from Jum'ah, Salawat are a means of cleansing our sins. But tell me an amal that can help me stay away from sins. Like I've done everything. I went for Umrah, I went for Hajj, I did this. But for some reason, I come back, after a week or two, I return to that sin. So is there any act in deen that I could perform that can prevent me from sinning? And in my limited knowledge of Quran Hadith, the only act that I know that can help a person remove a bad habit completely from their life is tahajjud. The Prophet said, وَمَطْرَدَةٌ لِلْآثَامِ, it becomes a shield from sins. It starts protecting you from sins. So I leave you with this, and I ask you to make a commitment, a pledge to yourself and to Allah, that in this month of Ramadan, we will try to revive the acts of night and standing in front of Allah. Yes, we enjoy during the day, we do whatever we have to do, we work, we study, but at night time, we stand in front of Allah, we pray, we raise our hands, we cry in front of Allah before suhoor, have this time of privacy. فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَبْ. Allah says to the Prophet, when you're done with all your daily activities, fansab. Nasaba means you take a nail and you peg it in the ground. He says to the Prophet, peg yourself to a place on the ground, meaning just sit down, stand there, and do what, O Allah? وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَبْ. Talk to your Lord. We should start making that a practice. And I'm saying this without a doubt, that if all of us sitting over here, we start doing this, our prayers, our tears are enough to solve the problems of the Ummah. Not just to solve the problems of Warren, or Sterling Heights, or Troy, or Michigan. We can solve the problems of the Ummah. Today the world is looking for that person. Ye door bhi apne barahim ki talash mein hai, sanam kada hai jahan la ilaha illallah. Allama Iqbal says, today the universe is looking for its next Ibrahim, next Salahuddin Ayyubi, next Umar bin Abdul Aziz. What's interesting in history, there was always more people doing wrong, and then one person came out of the ashes and had a mind of a believer, a tender heart that loved everybody, connection with Allah, had the worship of night and the effort of the day, one person, and they changed the tide of the earth, right? Umar bin Abdul Aziz came at a time where the entire world was full of impression, full of luxury, full of just, I like that land, just let me take it, I like this, and just, I'm going to imprison you, I'm going to do this. And one person changed the tide of the world in 2 years because we have the connection with Allah, and Allah has the power of kun fayakun. He can change anything at any time. So imagine all of us that's sitting here, we owe this to our community, we owe this to the Muslims that are living here today, because when historians will record the history 100 years from now, my only wish and hope is when they mention my name, or when they mention your name, 200 years from now, 500 years from now, the way we mention Imam Shafi'i, Imam Bukhari's name in books, and we say Rahimahullah, there should be a Rahimahullah after our names. They did something when they were living, or Rahimahullah. They did something, Rabi'a Basriya, Rahimahullah. They did something while they were living, that it doesn't matter what happens till the day of judgment, whenever someone mentions their name, they make dua for them. Say, Allah have mercy on them, because they did something. And instead of being people that just lived and died, and after a few years no one remembered us, no one prayed for us, and a few generations later, we weren't even, like Allam Yakun, like it was nobody even there. Nasiya Mansiya, if we just dent, do something, and it all starts with the acts of the night. Let's make that a habit in the month of Ramadan. I leave you with this message. Wallahi, it's a heartfelt message for all of us. Youngsters, we waste a lot of time when the sun sets. We should be like the people of the past and the mothers of today who can't wait to see their kids at the end of the school day. That's how much love they have for that child. We should be people that can't just wait till the night comes so we can have our private moment with Allah and have this beautiful conversation with Him and get all of our needs of the day taken care of at that time. And when we put our hands down like this, we're completely content and satisfied on two things. Number one, that Allah has forgiven my sins. And number two, Allah will take care of all my needs of the next day. If we have this feeling right before Fajr Salah, when we wake up in the morning, we'll have the biggest smile on our face. We will never be depressed. We will never be stressed because we've taken care of everything. We've put it in the hands of Allah. Like I said today in my tafsir after Taraweeh, I said that, when you put your 8-month-old child in the car seat in the back, and your 4-year-old, your 5-year-old, they sit in the back and they have no idea about the weather. They have no control over the steering wheel. They are completely dependent on the driver. Sometimes you put them in the back, you're so tired, You just put them in the seat and they just go to sleep. They just completely knock out. And you're in the front, hey Yusuf, and he's knocked out. Like, bro, I just put you there for 1 minute ago. And now all the stress and all the effort you have to do. You have to control the car. You have to try to stay awake, 5-hour energy, this, blah, 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 all that stuff. And you're driving and they're just knocked out because they don't even think about the road. They're not thinking about it. أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِكَافٍ عَبْدًا. Allah says, isn't your Lord enough for you? Let's just sit back, do our job, buckle up, and let Allah handle the rest. Allah will take care of it. We just got to be people who trust Allah and depend on Allah and ask from Allah and cry to Allah. Allah make us among those who are true servants of Allah that can do this at the nights. And that's how our Ramadan can become more meaningful. If you want to change something about this Ramadan, change our nights in this Ramadan. Because trust me, at the end of Ramadan, if our nights are better, we've already got the daytime down. We're already not, alhamdulillah, we're not people who are struggling with not eating and drinking during the day. We got that down. Of course, the backbiting and lying, all that was a different story, but we got that down. Let's get the night down now, okay? Let's make sure we feel the pain in our feet, how the Prophet used to feel. Let's make sure we fatigue ourselves. Because Muhammad Ali, and I said this before, he used to say, Rahman used to say, when someone asked him, how many push-ups do you do? And how many sit-ups do you do? And how much do you bench? And his answer was, I don't start counting till I feel the pain. Once I feel the pain, then I start counting. Because there's no gain till you start feeling the pain. When you start feeling it, like, man, I'm hurting, man. I want to sleep. And you're doing it for Allah. Then you start reaping the benefits of it. Today, we just worship Allah before we feel any pain. In the moment, we just do it at our comfort. As long as we're comfortable. That you can't grow your muscles like that. You can't get a better shot like that. Steph Curry, who just killed the Houston Rockets right now with a dislocated finger, the dude couldn't even hold his left hand up when he was playing. You can't do nothing in life without, there's that pain there. The Prophet ﷺ felt the pain standing in front of Allah. حَتَّى تَوَرَّمَتْ قَدَمَاهُ. And when he felt that pain, the mercy of Allah descended. So let us start feeling that. And inshallah that pain will become enjoyment. And then that enjoyment will become such that once you enjoy something, you're like that person, like that doctor who's working. He knows he's going to get his $500,000 at the end of the year. He's enjoying, he's chilling. I'm okay, I'll work because I'm going to get this big paycheck. You're going to start enjoying because you'll start seeing the benefits of it. The moment you stay, every night when you wake up, you see the benefits during the day. Allah make us among those who are true servants of Allah, and Allah make us among those who turn back to Him and make our nights more meaningful in the month of Ramadan. Jazakallah khair for your undivided attention. May Allah reward you. Bless all of the organizers. Bless all the sisters and brothers who came here. Bless you for your love and your affection that you came when you heard that I'm coming here, even though I'm sure there'd be 50 times more people if someone else came today. Because of me, there were less people. So Jazakallah khair for all of you guys coming. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.